Hello everybody. I am in an event today, so I am just waiting on the creator before me to finish up. Hey Krista, thanks for having me today. Thank you, ma'am. Hey girls, yeah? Just so you know, I'm on my live now, okay? Hey Misty, how are you today? Thanks for coming on. Just waiting on Miss Bernice to finish up. I'm on the live. Gotta tell all the people, you know, what's going on. Hello everybody. All right, I'm gonna get myself pulled up over here. All right. Me too, Misty. Tired always. Everybody say hello when you come in so I can say hello back. I hope everybody is having a good day. I'm going to give it just another minute, let a couple more people hop on. The lighting is a little weird today. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead. Hi, Krista. Gonna go ahead and get started. My name is Janice and I'm with J Will Creations. I am in an event today, the Mischievous Crafty Friends. I don't know if I should be offended or flattered that I was invited to join the Mischievous Friends. No, I'm kidding. I have been able to catch most of the creators today, except for Miss Jenny. I'm gonna have to go back and catch hers. Everybody is doing some really great projects and a lot of fun. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? Thanks for being here. Today's event is themed. It is angels. This is my first event that I have been in that actually has a theme to it. So I was a little, at first I was like, oh, that's going to be great. It'll be easy to narrow it down. No, it wasn't. Frozen. Here we go. My internet is acting up today, so I turned my Wi-Fi off, so hopefully we don't really have a lot of that reconnection problems. But anyway, I made the mistake of going on Pinterest trying to get some inspiration for what to do today, and there's just so much out there, so I just went back. Hi Bernice, your angels were cute. To what I know and what I actually really love doing, and that is mixed media. You can probably see I've got a lot of mixed media stuff behind me. So I have all kinds of things on my table and over here to the side. So I am going to go ahead and get started. I don't normally do mixed media on lives just because I'm indecisive. I will put things on, take it off, and go back and forth. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenge for me, but we're going to do it. So I have this print I downloaded from thecraftybrother.com. I think she is absolutely beautiful. She is an angel. You can see her wings over here on the side. She doesn't have a halo, but you know, that's okay. She does have her wings there, and I just seen her. I was actually looking at her on the computer, and one of my daughters seen it, and she said, "Mom, she is so pretty, I would hang that up in my room." So I knew that I absolutely had to do it, because when your teenage daughter tells you that they would actually put something in their room that you made, you just gotta go with it. So that's what we're gonna do today. I have this old frame. It says it's from the Family Dollar. I don't really know. I know I did not get it from there. It was probably a garage sale or something. Maybe the Goodwill. So we're gonna do up our angel and put her in this frame. So I did ask my daughter, since it is going to be going in her room, if she wanted the frame to be the light pink or this darker pink, light red, whatever that color is. And she said the darker color. So I am going to go ahead and paint the frame so it can be drying while we work on the girdle. All right. Hey, Tracy Fishburne, how are you today, friend? Thanks for sprinkling, Bernice. Okay, so I have this chalk paint in the color Ruby. I don't know, I'm going to put a little bit out here on the tray to see how well it matches. I might have to mix a little bit to get it the color that I want. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to. So I'll just use this. How is everybody today? I hope you've had a great weekend. We had kind of a somewhat eventful weekend. Hi Loretta. Hey Kelly. So some of you know I have a senior in high school, and this time of year the seniors participate in a game. I suppose I need to be careful on exactly what I say so I don't get my page flagged, but essentially a group of kids sign up for this game where they take, good, I'm glad you're good, Tracy. They take water squirters and they track and hunt each other down. Well, first they're divided up in teams, and so each team is assigned another team to track down and attempt to squirt them so that way they can eliminate the teams. Hey Michelle, as they go. And then of course the last man standing is the winner. I just took that ruby, that color ruby, and mixed it with a little bit of white to try and dull it down a little bit. So it is not a sanctioned school event. It has absolutely nothing to do with the school. Actually, the school sends out a notice saying this, you know, where the students are going to be doing this. This is not a school event, that kind of thing. It cannot take place on school property or any kind of school events. I'm just looking to see. I think I'm going to add just a touch of black to try to deepen it a little. But the whole point is there is no family involvement. My daughter's senior as well, and they don't do anything fun like that. Yeah, actually, all the schools around here in this area do. And there's a lot of rules to it, actually. My daughter, she did it last year when she was a junior. She printed out the rules for me this year because there can be no family involvement. So for example, if she's going to leave the house and there's somebody hiding in our bushes, I cannot tell her there's somebody hiding in the bushes, otherwise it's family involvement and then she gets eliminated. I didn't realize that last year, and I seen that she had pulled up in the driveway and there was like 4 cars blocking her in the driveway. So I got on my Ring doorbell camera and got a hold of my youngest daughter, and I said, hey, open the garage door so your sister can pull into the garage. And of course the kids heard me talking through the doorbell, and so then that was family involvement, and so she was eliminated. So my daughter printed out the 4 pages of rules this year and went over all the rules. She held a family meeting. And so all the kids that sign up for this, I don't like that color either. All the kids that sign up for this actually pay to be in the game, and whoever is, you know, standing at the end, they get the pop. So there's a little bit at stake. And so she was not happy with me last year, so I promised her this year that, you know, I will do better. But it's been so funny. So that started at 6 a.m. Friday morning, and then it just goes until they're all eliminated. I just do not like the way this is turning out. So, I guess we'll do more red. Friday morning it started at 6 a.m. and so she got up, you know, like a little after 5, I think, and she went creeping outside at 5:55 so she could get in her car before the 6 o'clock mark. And I feel so bad for her because we actually live like 2 or 3 blocks away from the school. So, and everybody knows that. So, I mean, she's an easy target living so close to the school. She's an easy target. It's getting there. So yeah, she's an easy target. And, it's been so funny to watch her, you know, when she goes to leave the house for work. You know, she peeks her head out the door to make sure nobody's out there, and she's being ever so cautious. And the kids, like I said, there's a lot of rules to it to make sure, you know, nobody's like breaking the law or anything. But, you know, we could have kids hiding in our bushes. Our house sits on 3 acres. And we've got, you know, some trees bordering our house, and so there could be kids hiding in our bushes at any given time. So it's so funny just to see. And they can hide in her car, so she's got to make sure, like, that she locks her car doors when she gets out, so that way, if she forgets, somebody could jump in her back seat, and when she goes to get in her car, you know, eliminate her. So it's been quite entertaining. This isn't quite the color that I wanted, but we're going to go with it for now. I can always fix it later. So yeah, that started Friday morning at 6 o'clock. They cannot get her at her job. However, they can wait for her in the parking lot for when she's leaving her job. Now, they can't get her when she's walking to her car. She has to actually make it inside her car and close her door. And then if she's not quick enough to lock her car door and somebody opens the door, then they can eliminate her. So, it's so funny. So funny to see and to know there are so many kids. And, you know, one of the other towns that's close to us, they are also doing it. And their police department actually put out a post on Facebook, you know, letting everybody in the community know that, like, hey, this game is taking place. You know, it's all in good fun. You know, there are far worse things that the kids could be doing. So, although we, you know, want to make sure everybody is respectful of each other's property and all of that, but let the kids have fun, right? So, it's nice to know that it's good, clean fun, especially for kids their age. Like I said, there are far worse things they could be doing than using water squirters to chase each other down. Brittany, you're right. The best game to teach kids how to be stalkers. Yeah, you know, they all do their homework to try to track each other down, where they live, because none of that is disclosed. You have to do your own homework to figure all that out. We're a fairly small town, although we are a country town, so the village limits, you know, exceed quite a ways, so they have to do their own homework to figure it out, but it's very entertaining. So that was the start of my weekend, being entertained by her. And then Friday, when I got home from work, my husband and I, most of our kids were gone. And so my husband said, he wanted to do a Facebook Live with me. So I thought that was, Krista, right? Having somebody hide in your car and pop up at you, yeah. So my husband was like, oh, let's go on your page and do a live and we can make something together. So we were going to do that. I was getting some stuff ready. And then my 14-year-old son come up from his bedroom, burning up with a fever, throwing up, mildly delirious at that point, which kind of got worse. I was trying to get medicine. Hey, Dina, thanks for sprinkling. Trying to get medicine down him, and he kept throwing it up. We were having a hard time getting him to break his fever because he kept throwing up the medicine. So I literally, when I went to bed Friday, I guess it was technically Saturday morning, it was probably close to 4 o'clock in the morning, and then he was up at 5:30 throwing up again. But his fever had come down, so that was actually, out of all the times that my kids have been sick, probably the most scary, because he was, like I said, he was mildly delirious from the fever, and I did not want to have to go to the emergency room and deal with that and all the sick people at the emergency room. I'm on my live. Speaking of the sick child, this was the one that was sick. I was just telling them how sick you were and that it was, it scared me, because you've never been delirious like that before.
Dang, 15 people?
Yep. Hey, do me a favor. Never mind.
What?
Never mind. I'll get it. So, luckily, the last time he had a fever or threw up was about 5:30 yesterday morning, and then he seemed to be fine the rest of the day. I was grateful for that. But then last night, I'm just using some decoupage to put on this canvas that I'm going to attach my angel to. About 9:30 last night, my mother-in-law had to go to the hospital. She was having some chest pains. So that was kind of scary. Luckily it was, no heart attack, and they're just having her follow up with her heart doctor. But my husband was at the hospital until about 3 o'clock this morning with her. So it has just been pretty eventful. You're probably going to hear a lot of people coming in and out of the house. I've got some extra kiddos here today. I tried to put the word out to them all that I was going to be on a live, but they are kids and dogs. Alright, I'm just trying to get a nice, somewhat thick layer spread out evenly on here. I am going to do the iron-on method with this because I do not want there to be wrinkles in my angel. When I printed her out, I printed her on rice paper. Let me give this a quick little dry. Exciting, Maryland, chaotic, stressful, but fun. We have a house full, that's for sure. So there's usually never a dull moment, although I should have known that this weekend was going to be a little bit more exciting, because last weekend was actually very relaxing. I didn't do anything at all last weekend. Nothing. It was pretty nice. So I should have known that this weekend was going to be full, that you could never have 2 weekends like that in a row. My table is chock full of stuff. Yeah, so it will be interesting to see how long my daughter stays in the game. This year, she was eliminated, I think, within a couple of days last year, but like I said, that was my fault. I thought I was being helpful, and she gave strict instructions this year that we are helping her by not helping her. So that is what we are doing. All right. I'm going to take this girl, like I said, I got this at thecraftybrother.com. I'm going to stand up so I can try to get her on here straight. I'm kind of using my grid lines as a guide. Okay. Take my little iron and just go over it to make sure it's on there real good with no wrinkles. No wrinkles for the angel. So, what has everybody else been up to this weekend? Like I said at the beginning, I am in an event, the Mischievous Crafty Friends group. It is a free group, and if you're not part of the group, you can go over there and join. And that way you can catch the replay, at least for the next 30 days, because you know Facebook is getting rid of lives older than 30 days. All right. Probably going to be loud for just a second. I am going to sand off my edges with my little gator. Oh, I feel like I need a new sanding pad on here. Not working that great. I don't know where they're at either. Do I need to scoot it down? Is that better? Which way do I need to move it, Carol? Let me know if that's better. And thank you for bringing that to my attention. Hello, Lisa. My camera or my iPad over here, that looks better. That's good. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know. If you guys didn't see in the description of my video, Marilyn and John with Done By Me, they are up next. And then I forget, I think there is maybe 5 presenters left. 4 or 5 left after them. And like I said, today's event is Angels. All right, she's on there really good. So I am going to take it on here first so I don't knock it over. Well, okay. I have all kinds of flowers that I am going to put in her hair around her headband. First, she does have this bit of lace that goes across her head. So I have a bag of lace here. I was kind of looking through this before because this is a pretty tedious process for me to decide what I want to use on it. So I kind of like this one. So her headband that she has is scalloped. So I want to make sure that the lace I put on also has the same scalloped effect. This one, I don't know, it doesn't, from being in that bag, I don't know if you can tell, some of the stuff is all bunched up. So I also think I like this one the best. So I'm just going to run that along and go right over her headband. Now, you know, this is obviously flat and the head is curved. So I'm going to have to try to work with it the best I can. If it's got some puckers here and there, that's okay. Because we're going to put, like I said, some flowers and whatnot over it. It does look like there is a right and a wrong side to this lace trim. So I am going to cut, because it's skinnier over here on this side, I'm going to cut some of this back just a little bit. Not that it's really going to matter because the flowers are going to go over it, but I do think it's going to be a little easier for me to work with. Okay. To do this, I'm going to try to use my art glitter glue. It dries pretty quickly. And it does dry clear. This is one of my favorite glues to work with. But it gets clogged very easily because I'm not really good about putting the cap back on it right away after I use it. So it's my own fault. There we go. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time as I go. Okay. Like I said, it's going to have some puckers here and there, but we're just going to work with it the best we can. I'm also, the very top part here, I'm really just going to put the glue towards the middle of the lace trim because some of these flowers I think I may want to actually tuck down inside of the headband. And I do actually really like it puckered. I like things to have texture, especially in the mixed media. Oh, thank you for the stars, husband. That is my husband, you guys. He is my biggest supporter and encourager. I know a lot of you are fortunate enough to have husbands like that as well. I think that's great. Okay. Sticking to my fingers. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. So when I do this mixed media, like, the images themselves are so pretty, so it's hard sometimes to, like, add to it and cover it. Here's what we've got so far. It's really hard, you know, to alter what's already there. So when I'm, like, finding my embellishments to add to it, you know, a lot of times I will take from the elements that are in the image. Like in this case, she's got beautiful roses in her hair. So So we're going to add some roses, but at the same time, you know, I kind of want to make it my own too, so I don't necessarily always match exactly. Marilyn, between my husband and I together, we have 9 children. 2 of them are adults and have their own places. And then one of them, she is 18 and she lives in Florida. I'm in central Illinois. She lives in Florida with her mom full time, and then she comes home every couple of months or so and stays with us for a while. And then we also like to vacation to Florida, you know, so we'll go down and see her and that kind of thing too. So we have 6 kids at home full time. My oldest daughter, who lives at home, she'll be 18 next month. My goodness. And then after that is my son, who will be 16 in less than a week, actually, on the 15th. Then I have a 15-year-old daughter. And then we have a 13-year-old son. And then we also have my youngest daughter will be 10 next month. So we are, yes, it's you. She hears me talking about her. So we are a busy household. And we are very fortunate. So my mother-in-law, before she lived here in Illinois, she lived in Arizona. And she wanted to move back to Illinois to be closer to all of, you know, her grandkids, because they're all getting bigger and all of that. So my husband and I and our kids, we lived in a different home. It was not near as big as this one. We weren't house shopping by no means. But we were kind of keeping an eye out on rentals in the area for my mother-in-law. And I was up late one night at like midnight watching, you know, HGTV, where they do the house hunter things. So I have these paper studio flowers from Hobby Lobby I'm going to start adding here to my flower, or to my angel. And so that kind of got me in the house shopping mood, I guess you could say, watching the house hunters. And so I went on to one of our local real estate websites. So I've got my lace on there. And I seen a house for sale sitting on 3 acres, and it has what they called a mother-in-law suite. So attached to the home is a full apartment, and it is connected. The best way I know how to describe it to people is, have you ever rented a hotel room where it's got adjoining rooms? So there's, you know, the 2 rooms, and you can lock the door on both sides in the middle, or you can leave it unlocked, and so it's connected. So my home on this side is, you know, my home, and then there's a door right back here that you can open it up and walk over to a full size. Online, I woke up my husband and I was like, "You've got to look at this house. Like, this is amazing." I love house hunters too, Michelle. And so I woke him up and I was like, "You've got to look at this house. It's big enough for all of us. It has a big unfinished area in the basement. We could build extra bedrooms for our, you know, almost football team size family. Plenty enough room for everybody, and it has this apartment." And of course, my husband, he loves to fish, and the first thing he said, "Well, is there a pond?" I said, "There's not a pond, but we could put one in." So, come to find out, he actually knew the person who was, I forgot to turn my glue tool on. He knew the person who was selling it, so that was on a Saturday night. So Sunday, he called her up, and we came to look at the house and fell in love with it, and it was perfect. And I absolutely love my mother-in-law. I am blessed to have her. She's amazing. She's not a what do they call it? A monster-in-law. She's very sweet and helpful, and I love her to pieces. So, we immediately, you know, put an offer in on the house, and we bought the house. So we moved here in September of 2022. So here is one of the flowers up close that I'm going to attach. I'm just going to do that kind of all the way around. I probably won't cover all of them, but I will cover quite a bit of them. So, yeah, so my mother-in-law lives, I guess you could say, here with us or on the property with us, however you want to say it. And it's a blessing to have her here, so. All right, so these are from Michael's. I would have preferred to have these all the paper flowers so they match, but I don't, and Hobby Lobby was closed today. I did run to Michael's earlier while I was watching Kelly on her live to grab some more flowers. But this will be okay because it'll be in true mixed media fashion where it's mixing it up, adding a little bit of everything. Okay, so I almost think that bigger one there and smaller one down here. So this is a lot of, like I said, for me, trial and error. I don't do this. Hold on, baby. TT's on a live. A lot of, you know, putting on, taking off, which is why I don't necessarily do this on lives a whole lot, because actually I think I've only done it once. You guys are going to have to go play, baby. Because it is, like I said, I put things on, I take it off, and I just keep playing with it until I like it. I'm trying to let my glue tool heat up here, and then I'll get a couple attached and show you. So she does have a little sprig of greenery coming out. Actually, I think I like this greenery better. And so when I went to Michael's earlier to buy more things to add to this, more flowers, I came home and started opening my bag up only to realize that I bought a lot of stuff that I already had. Do you guys do that? I should have really paid attention to what I had before I went, but I didn't. That's okay. We'll get used. This is one of them I just bought from Michael's. Okay. There's that. You can walk through. My son asking if you can walk through. Like I said, we've got some extra kiddos around here today on top of my... There's a lot going on in the background. Alright. Is this hot enough yet? Yes. Okay. So first... this is just a little piece of greenery that came out of that paper pack. I'm gonna just use my art glitter glue here for that, and you see it's so stinking quick. Now I'm not gonna like glue down every single leaf on that because I want there to be some movement. So like I said, my husband and I were gonna go live together on Friday, and we weren't able to do that because our son was sick. So look for that. I imagine maybe, depending on the kids' schedules, we might try to do that maybe next weekend. We used to have date nights where we painted together. There's a couple of pictures up here behind me that we actually each painted on a canvas, and then you put the two canvases together and it makes one big picture. So I think he's been feeling a little left out and doing all the things with them. I don't know if you guys are quiet now or my comments stopped, so I apologize. Okay. So just a minute to get a couple more of these put down, and then I will show you what we've got so far. Some of these, they do have the green leaves behind them. I am clipping most of that off just because she doesn't already have really green leaves showing anywhere. All right, so here's what we got so far. This flower is sticks kind of straight out. It's not as flat as what I would like it, so I am going to go ahead and run some of my glue underneath there and hold the flower down just so it kind of flattens out a little more. Thank you, Paula. Well, you probably, like I said, this is a themed event, and the theme is angels, and you probably don't necessarily notice right when you first look at her that she is in fact an angel. My husband actually told me that. He said, well, are you going to put her feathers, put some big feathers on her so you can actually tell she's an angel? And I said, no, I don't think so, because I really wanted the headpiece and the flowers and all of that. Although I did pull out some feathers. I can always get your guys' input, but I'm afraid that you can almost do too much sometimes. And I don't want it to be gaudy. Okay, glue is sticking to my fingers. All right, I'm getting glue strings everywhere. All right, I will add more to that later to make it lay a little bit more flat, but I don't want to run out of time, so I'm going to keep going here. Okay. Like I said, after me is Marilyn and John with Done By Me. I can't wait to see what they have up their sleeve for the angel event. I'm sure it's something pretty spectacular. Okay. I feel like that's a little too big, but it's what I got, so it's what we're gonna use. Let me try one of these, see what one of these looks like. These are a little smaller. So I know Kelly did what I would consider a mixed media piece today. You're welcome, Marilyn. Do any of you guys out there do mixed media? I mean, I guess really crafting in general can almost really be considered mixed media, especially with this group of gals. No offense, John, you too, guys, gal and guy. You know, when you're using all the different things, to me that's mixed media. I'm just really struggling with what I want to go there. So here's what we're got so far. Oh. I'm froze over here. I hope I'm not froze for you guys. Okay. Maybe I'll switch it. No, I won't. Alright. We're just going to go back to this one. Yeah. Yes, they do always do something awesome. Okay. Like I said, this is just really a lot of trial and error. Putting it on, do you like it? Do you not? Now, you'll see up here, she doesn't have a flower right here. It almost looked like, I don't know, it was snowflake-ish, I guess, like the shape. But I don't have any kind of metal embellishment for that. So I'm just gonna go right over that and add another flower. That's too different. I think this was left over from some other project I did. Maybe I've got some of this like little baby's breath. Is that what it says? I don't know. I think this is like faux baby's breath, almost. Put a couple of these in there and then we'll get to moving because I've only got 16 minutes left. I appreciate you guys being here and for your support. It's always much appreciated. I know all of us crafters really do appreciate the support from everybody. Oh yes, that's awesome. So you'll see right here where her lace, on the right side, her lace just kind of cuts off right there. I don't like that because it's just a, you know, a straight line. So I'm going to take a little piece of this and put right there so I can mask, you know, that it's not going down behind her ear like a headband would. Now I have to make sure I do a good job on this because like I said, my daughter said that she thought she was beautiful and she would actually hang it up in her room. So I have to make sure that it ends beautiful. And I don't know why, but I do try to kind of stick with the whole power of odd numbers when I'm adding the embellishments. So,
third day, I'm still alive.
oh, you hear my daughter down there? She just said it's her third day and she's still alive in the game.
What?
Oh, I was telling them about your water squirting game.
Third day, you're still alive.
Still alive. Alright. So I think I almost don't like that flat greenery now, so I am going to go ahead, I think, and pick something from over here just to add over the top of it. So it's got a little bit more dimension to it. Hopefully our frame is drying, yes. Thank you. Yes, I think that looks better. All right. See all the flowers around here? I'm not going to do anything with that. I know it's probably kind of hard to see on screen, but she does have a flower here on each side of her neck. I'm not going to do anything with that. I just really wanted to keep it around like a flower halo. My husband's asking what's my favorite thing I've ever crafted. I don't know, babe. I mean, I really like the mixed media. I love my butterfly flower girl back there. my flapper girl back there. How about you guys? Do you guys have a favorite thing that you've ever crafted? All right, so now I've got my lid on there, some stickles in the color Cayenne. So I'm gonna take just in the light part of her eyes, I'm gonna put just a little bit of the stickles so her eyes has a little bit of a shimmer. Give it just a little bit of shimmer. I feel like she is an angel after all, so she should have a little bit of sparkle. All right. And then I'm going to use the same thing for her lips. There's a little bit of shine down there on her lips. I'm going to add, this is the color Diamond Stickles. Thank you, Krista. You don't have a, I mean, Michelle, how could you have a favorite? You do so many awesome things. And you whip it all up like so quickly too. Okay. All right, so down here, I'm gonna make sure that I don't give her a crooked lip. So the stickles will almost like stay puffy if you put it on thick and you don't smudge it like I have a tendency to do. But so she's got some reflections down here on the bottom of her neck and her chest. Hi Elizabeth, thanks for coming in. I'm gonna try to highlight that just a little. I have these Spectrum Noir, I think is how you say it. They're glitter brush pens, and basically it's a clear liquid that has glitter in it. And yep, that was the kids coming in. Or are you saying that's my favorite thing that I've crafted is the kids? Either way, you're right. Thanks, Kelly. So I'm gonna take some of this and put on those highlighted parts. You're welcome, Michelle. You guys have all inspired me in one way or another. Which is why I thought at first I was like excited to know that it was like an angel event today, because you know there's a lot of things that you can do, but then I was like, oh, I really want to try not to do something the same as everybody else. And when you go on Pinterest, there's, you know, a ton of like little wood angels, ornament angels. There's so many, but I thought somebody else is bound to do that, so I would just stick to what one of my favorites in the mixed media. And then Kelly went on and did hers, and I was like, oh, that's all right. Great minds think alike, because I know with the events, I'm assuming everybody else thinks like I do, that we want to kind of give a good variety of different ideas and inspiration. And I think that, you know, in all the groups and events that I'm part of, they all do that. We all do a really good job about doing our own thing, and even if it is similar, like I said with Kelly doing hers, you know, we each still have our own style. So with this water brush pen, like I said, it has just glitter inside the liquid, and so you have to squeeze it, whoop, but it really comes out very quickly, like it did on me there. Alright, you guys, that is my husband Lonnie in the comments asking questions. Just in case anybody was wondering. And like I said, I'm just gonna hit a couple of these spots where it's like she's shining. Alright, I'll try this for a second. And then I'll bring back our frame. I almost don't know if I like it, but it is wet, so. I can turn it around so you guys can see. And the good thing is with this, you know, being a mixed media piece, if once this completely dries, if I don't like the highlighting that I did down there, I can always go back and throw some paint over it and cover it up. And it'll just look like it's, you know, intended to be that way. And of course I smudged her lip just like I said I would where the stickles are. All right, and before I forget, I do want to thank Miss Krista for inviting me to the event today and to be part of the group. So like I said, this frame, the color is not quite what I wanted, so I will probably after the live go back and play with it a little bit. But I at least want to get it in here so I can show you. I don't need the back. Thank you, you guys. All right, so my question for you all would be, do I take and add flowers, or not flowers, but feathers, because they would come outside of the frame to make her angel wings? I know it's really hard to tell with my fingers in the way. Or is it too much? What do you guys think? I almost think it would be too much. I could take some diamond dust and throw a little diamond dust, or I have some fine glitter I could put on there, which I won't be able to do on the live. Misty, you like the idea of the feathers? You know, I think I do too, because going off of the frame I think would be really cool. You like the feathers? Okay. So I will be sure to do that after the live, and I'll post a picture. Krista, is it okay to post pictures in the Mischievous Crafty Friends group? I also have this trim, this black trim. I'm going to, or not trim, but it's a sticker. I think I'm going to add one row at the bottom and one row at the top. And then she would have her feathers coming out. I do think that I like that idea. So I will doctor up the frame a little bit, and I apologize that I didn't get this done, completely done. This is, like I said, why I don't normally, you know, really do mixed media when I'm on a time crunch with a certain time frame, just because it's a lot of back and forth, you know, trial and error. What do you like? Kind of thing, and it's a lot of fun. You can pull out all your different supplies and add to it. So I will be sure to post. Okay, Krista, cool. Ask the kiddo if she does. Ask her if she likes the feathers. That is good thinking. Good thinking, Michelle. Since it is going to go in her room, I will ask her if she wants the feathers on there. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Kelly. Jenny. Thank you. Oh, the diamond dust. Yeah. I know the options are endless. It's like you want to throw everything at it, but at the same time, you don't want it to be gaudy and overdone either. But I actually have this printed out multiple times, so if I mess it up, I can always just pluck the feathers off and do a new one, I guess. But Again, thank you to Krista for having me today. And I am in the Mischievous Crafty Friends group. Go over to that group when I get done here in just a minute. You'll be able to refresh your page and catch Marilyn and John with Done By Me. You'll be able to also find the crafters that were on before me today, and then there are 5 or 6 after that that'll be up as well. So then go back and hopefully everybody will post their pictures in that group as well so you can see their finished products. Although I'm sure everybody else, they all got done, unlike me. So I'm mischievous, I didn't get done. I guess I'm due for a pink slip, Krista. Anyway, Misty, I will tell her that you said good luck. Thank you. It's so fun. Yeah, it's fun to do. And thank you for saying you love my ideas. Brings back fun memories. I know, right? Time is going by so quick. I can't believe that she's going to graduate this year. So I gotta say, I'm kind of excited she's going to stay home and go to college. So at least for a couple years. So again, thank you guys so much for being here with me today, for showing your support. If you're not already following my page, I would appreciate it if you would give me a like and a follow. And again, do the same thing with all the other crafters, and be sure to go over there to the Mischievous Crafty Friends group and give it a follow as well. And you guys, I hope you have a blessed rest of your Sunday and an absolutely amazing week. Stay safe, everybody, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you. It's not going to give you hearts, but I'm sending hearts anyway. Bye, guys.